Hey guys, it's Max. Today we are comparing the brand new Apple Watch SE to the also new Apple Watch Series 6, which I've been using over the weekend. Now, if you are trying to decide between these two, you obviously care about prices and about getting the best bang for your buck because the SE is less expensive. So obviously you guys know the main price differences, but we're gonna talk about prices towards the end, and there's a few things that we actually didn't realize until getting ready for this video. But the price difference is actually bigger than we initially saw and expected, so we're gonna dive into prices here at the end. But first, let's go ahead and open up the new SE. I'm gonna pop open the little cover. Now, interesting, the SE has this little wax paper cover instead of the cardboard, which just actually comes off a lot easier. And this SE is a 40mm model because my son is probably gonna be wearing that with the family setup. If you guys missed the video, you guys can check that out. Of course, we just have the charger without the power brick now. Most people have that. Let's open up our little band. This is the budget one. Even though it might look a little bit funny on my wrist, keep in mind that the features are identical. So this is the silver model. You can also get the SE in gold or in space gray. So if you want to get one of the new colors such as the red, or you want to get the blue one, or you even want to get a stainless steel or a titanium model, you have to get the Series 6. The SE just comes in those three colors. With that said, you do still have the ability to put any watch band on the SE. So I just got in the brand new braided solo loop. It was supposed to come on Friday for my Series 6. Let's go ahead and pull this thing out. I definitely like how this looks, at least online. I haven't seen it in person. Okay, that feels a lot nicer than I expected. I knew I liked how it looked, but I wasn't expecting it to feel so much like a normal band, but having the elasticity. Am I saying that right? Elasticity. Let's go ahead and swap this out since I was really looking forward to this new braided solo loop, and I think this one is gonna be very popular, so it's great that you can still get it with the SE. Before I compare the exteriors, let's do a quick test, and no, it's too loose, oh my goodness. Oh man. I checked the sizing using Apple's little printout, and it seemed like I ordered the right one. Let's do a double check here. Yeah, they're right in between 8 or 9 for me, if you guys could see that. I went with the 9, and I wish I didn't. Now I'm gonna have to return this, and I really don't want to, but I can't deal with it flopping around. So that definitely is a disappointment. So go on the smaller side, absolutely don't. If you're closer to one, just take one step down because this probably is gonna stretch after a while, just like other people are saying. Now let's compare the exteriors, and obviously this one's smaller, but other than that, they're identical. If we look at the left side, the speakers, the little ports look identical. On the right side, the button, the microphone cutout, the crown looks identical. My SE does have LTE because I want to set it up for my kid. My Series 6 doesn't, so that's why you don't see that little line. But other than that, they're the same. Now let's compare the sensors. I have my watch band off. Let's flip these and compare the sensors, and we definitely see a difference. So it looks like the SE has the design from the Series 5, and the Series 6 has a whole new design. We have 4 LED lights, 4 sensors in the center because it could do blood oxygen sensing. So that the SE cannot do, but the SE also looks different. Let me grab my other Apple Watches. It's crazy, I have 5 Apple Watches here. That's weird, but let's start out with the Series 5. And it's interesting to see that the centers are the same here, but the outside is different. Just like on that Series 6, we have these 2 outside portions, a ring around it. My Series 5 also has it, but the SE does not have that. So that has to be for the ECG feature, which the SE doesn't have. Let's add in the Series 3. There's a huge difference here. The casing is much larger with just a little central circle, and then we have some lights, 2 lights, and then looks like 2 sensors. So it's definitely an upgrade from that. So now we know that the SE is just like the Series 4 and the Series 5, just without the ECG. Now I also have my Series 0 original Apple Watch It's interesting to see that the sensors are the same as the Series 3. If you guys want to see a full comparison between the SE and the Series 3, what you get for the extra $80, go ahead and click that little subscribe button down below and enable those notifications. Now let's get into the displays, and thankfully the SE is using the same display as the Series 6. That means if you're using a full screen watch face, or if you have photos that are showing up, you get these nice rounded corners, and the screen size is larger with slimmer bezels than you would on a Series 3 or an older Apple Watch. So that is great. Now the display tech is also the same. It's using an LTPO display, so that uses less power, but with the SE, you don't have the ability to have an always on display. So that's something that Apple locks out just with software to, make a little bit of a difference there. So as you guys see with this watch face, we still have the always on, the SE you don't, so you have to raise up your wrist, and then you see it just like with a lot of the older Apple Watches. On a positive note, you do still get all of the same watch faces, so here's the typography watch face, so you're not limited in that. Along with sharing the watch faces, they also share a ton of other features. I have a full list right here. They both have the same fall detection, the same second generation heart rate sensors, the same accelerometers, they have the same speaker, the same microphone, the same 32 gigabytes of storage, which I was surprised by, the same W3 chip, and the same Bluetooth 5. And the Series 5 actually shares that as well. So it's kind of like a Series 5, but there's one thing that the SE gets from the Series 6 that the 5 doesn't have, and that's the always on altimeter. That means that the SE along with the 6, they can always tell your altitude, which is great if you're a hiker. That gives more information for your workouts, so your watch will know when you're going up in elevation. They can apply that to the calories you burn and other aspects, which could be nice if you do a lot of hiking. So with so many of the same features and specs, what does the Series 6 give you? Well, the first one is the ability to do ECGs, which will check your heart for irregular heartbeats. The next one is blood oxygen sensing, so if you're somebody that could have some health issues, or like my son, he has asthma and allergies, that could be really handy. The Series 6 has the new U1 chip that is included with the new iPhones. Now, one thing we know is it's gonna make it a lot easier to find your watch if you left it somewhere, but there's probably gonna be a lot more features that go along with that we'll find out at next month's Apple event. The 6 is the first watch that can connect to 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi, so it could give you some better range and also some faster transfer speeds for, say, music, photos, things like that, but I haven't really noticed an issue with mine. And then along with that, it also has the S6 processor, which is about 20% faster. Let's do a quick test here, see if we can notice a difference. So as far as switching between watch faces, both are super smooth. Let's go to our home page. I have it set up a little bit differently. But based on what I've been playing around right now with the SE, it seems plenty fast. It has the same processor as the Series 5, which was already a very fast processor. Now, I will say with my Series 5, I did occasionally notice some glitches. Sometimes when I'd go in to adjust a watch, you'd get a little glitch in the animation. That could be once you were using the watch for a while, you have a bunch of apps on it, you have stuff running in the background, but it is not bad. With the Series 6, I've been using it over the weekend, and it is definitely a little bit smoother. So with all of that said, let's get into prices and then talk about which one you should buy. The base starting price of the Series 6 is $399 or $400, and the SE is $279, so that's a $120 difference, and that is pretty significant. Now, I did say at the start that the prices get a little bit more interesting. It's a bigger difference than you'd expect, and that is because if you're buying one with LTE, the Series 6 and all the previous Apple Watches, Apple would charge an extra $100 for that LTE option. So it's a pricey upgrade. Surprisingly and thankfully, with the SE, Apple is only charging $50 more if you want LTE. So that brings the price difference to $170. That is very significant, and you'll need the LTE if you want to set up one for, say, your kid or a family member. You have to have the LTE set up. So with that price difference being so big, you can actually buy an SE, you can add on LTE, even if you might not use it right away, you can upgrade to you a different watch band like the new Solo braided loop, and you're still $20 cheaper than the very base model, basic Apple Watch Series 6. So that is a very impressive difference and gives you a lot of value with the SE. So with the SE's value being so good, why would you spend the extra money on the Series 6? Well, there's just a few reasons. The first ones are if you have health issues or if there's health issues in the family, you want to have that ECG ability, you want to have the blood oxygen sensors, that's going to be a no-brainer to spend the extra money. And along with that, if you want the extra finishes, say if you want to get a stainless steel one or you want to get the red or the blue, you have to get the Series 6. Apple is locking that just for the higher end models. And then another one that's going to be a big one for a lot of people is the always on display, having the ability to see the time, see notifications, and just have a little bit of a nicer look when the screen is off instead of having it be purely black. That is going to be another big reason. But with that said, I think for the vast majority of people, the SE just makes a ton of sense. Apple's packing in a lot of value. It's almost like a Series 5 that cost way more last year. So let us know your thoughts and which one you want to go with down in the comment section below. We're gonna have links to both in the video description. A lot of times there's great deals on Amazon, so make sure to go and check those out. And if you want to see our full review after we use these, click that circle above to subscribe. And if you want to set it up for your kid, we have a video for you as well. Thank you for watching. This has been Max, and I'll see you in the next video.